Hey bears, I am the Gaming-Grizzly and welcome back to Identity 5. And today I want to show you some stunning designs that are heavily inspired by a crazy experimental Asylum theme. All of these designs were created within an official Identity 5 contest and they are all amazing. I just had to share them with you. So make sure to leave me a comment in the comment section below what your favorite artwork is. Also make sure to leave me a fat like if you enjoyed this video, and of course if you're new to the channel and you want to stay up to date all around Identity 5, make sure to subscribe to the Gaming-Grizzly. Alright, let's talk about the artwork because some of those artworks are just mind-blowing. In this cursed asylum, the puppet stands forever. There is a strange room that no one knows how to enter. One day she was finding herself in that mysterious dark room, holding some interesting test result files. She tried to understand them, and the more she read, the more she was getting scared of what was going on. A cold shiver ran down her spine when she heard an evil laughter right behind her. What was that? She turns around and sees two dark shadows behind the curtains. She wanted to run, but it was too late. The truth never left this room. This looks absolutely crazy, and I have to be completely honest, when I first saw this design, I thought it was an official artwork by the Identity 5 team. And I also think it's a great idea to show hunters and survivors working together, as we can see in this picture with the Plague Doctor skin for the Ripper and the crazy assistant skin for the Acrobat. The Bartender is designed to be a crazy surgeon who is obsessed with human experiments and who wants to explore the secrets of immortality. After being expelled from the hospital, she did not hesitate to transform her body and replace parts of her body with machinery. She turns herself into the experiment. The design for the ex-boy is a kind of a bloodthirsty ginseng, but the human brain possessed by this ginseng was a serial murderer. I absolutely dig the Bartender's design because she looks futuristic with steampunk elements and she has an absolutely crazy background story. The ex-boy skin on the other side looks absolutely terrifying, but in a good way, because that could bring back the horror to Identity 5. We can also see that there is a flower coming out of the brain, but that is pretty much the only cute thing about this character. The fashion setting of these two characters are doctors of the White Sand Street Asylum. To make this setting even more interesting, steampunk elements were added. While designing the embalmer, the whole fashion lacked some highlights. Therefore, a little raccoon was added on his shoulder. Because of the steampunk theme, the raccoon is also wearing a little mask similar to the embalmer's. The photographer is an electrotherapist. His sword is equipped with circuit devices, and so is his camera. These are two absolutely fantastic designs for the embalmer and the photographer, and I think both of them would fit perfectly into the game, considering that we already have steampunk skins in the game. The little raccoon on the embalmer's shoulder is a really nice touch, and that he is also wearing a face mask makes him fit perfectly to this character. Robbie sneaked into the electric shock asylum disguised as a patient and secretly used a mysterious potion to make everyone go crazy and hunt each other down, thus providing him with the power of resentment. Contrary to expectations, the electric shock maniac in the Lunatic Asylum discovered that Robbie's body could survive even if it was destroyed. So he transformed Robbie into a robot with a light head and let him stay here forever as the ward of the madhouse. At this time, Robbie can no longer live without the electric shock maniac or the electric shock asylum. From then on, Robbie held the key to the door of the Lunatic Asylum and watched dully. I want that design in the game. This is probably the most interesting design I have ever seen for the ex-boy. And if we look at the artwork's bottom right corner, we can see there is more. There are 3 more ex-boy skins that are absolutely fantastic. We can see there is a Mad Eyes, an Acrobat, a Postman, a Prospector and a Ripper as well. And we heard that the story is including an electric shock maniac. That could be the Mad Eyes, because Mad Eyes is known for building robots like the Guard 26, which could mean that the ex-boy turned into the brother of Guard 26 in the story. Again, I absolutely love this design and I would love to see it in the game. This design showcases the Truckmaker, an entirely new hunter. The Truckmaker was good at disguising herself as a doctor. Injecting the toxic drugs into a survivor would cause dizziness, allowing her to bind them on the chair. On the surface, she is a doctor who treats humans harmlessly. In fact, she is a vicious and lonely pharmaceutical person that only cares about herself. It is difficult for others to see her true face under the cover of the mask. The patient came with a stubborn illness in his hand. The doctor intercepted the patient and let the patient go empty-handed. The psychiatrist is nothing but a white-robed patient who is insane himself, but he is good at covering it up. Everyone is the perpetrator and the murderer. Everyone is the interrogator and the judge. The hospital is a tower, and you can be a prophet and a genius. Just put on the doctor's robe and do whatever you want. A patient's last words. This design comes for 3 characters, and as we already heard in the background story, there was a patient with a stubborn illness in his hand. And this appears to be the Ripper, which means the Ripper was a patient, or rather a victim, himself. Then we have the Postman, who seems to be the insane psychiatrist. And what I really like about this design is the change of the dog into a robot. As you all know, I love futuristic things, and seeing a robot running around in Identity 5 would be a dream for me. And the third design is for the Pfister, which makes it look like he was completely consumed by darkness. Since you can't stop, please dance until you die. This is another really nice patient design for the female dancer. The pharmacist is keen to adjust the medicine bottles and carries around 3 color medicine bottles with him. Each medicine bottle has different functions. He likes to observe people's reactions and changes after being sprayed. He always had a weird smile on his face and his legs seem to be prosthetic. Another really good looking design for the acrobat. Here's another design that includes 3 characters. The first one is the Dream Witch. As a caretaker, the happiest thing is to catch an escaped patient and then cut something. Then we have the Smiley Face. He is a patient. He is brave and strong. That's really exciting for the Dream Witch as a caretaker. And last but not least, we have the Acrobat. The Acrobat is wearing a hat, and if we look close enough we can see that there is a little mouse sitting on top of that hat. And if we look into the picture we can also see that mouse drinking out of the potions of the Acrobat, which is kinda cute. I also want to mention that, Jesus, Smiley Face, get that syringe out of there, don't get anywhere close to me with that thing. Another set of crazy character skin designs includes 2 hunters and 2 survivors. The Lizard and the Bloody Queen, as well as the Seer and the Dancer. The Lizard, a doctor who started his series of crazy experiments on others, also began to experiment on himself. The Bloody Queen as the doctor's sponsor, since these experiments are pretty expensive. And the Dancer and the Seer as essential resources for the doctor's crazy experiments. 2 drunk gentlemen came out of the bar at night. Have you heard that there has been a demon in the town recently? I also heard that. Oh, what is that? Look at that guy on the roof. A man who looks like a crow. Here we have another Ripper skin that looks extremely interesting thanks to the details that have been added. This is a design for Mad Eyes that I really like. Besides the great appearance of Mad Eyes himself, he is also carrying around an experimental animal that follows him wherever he goes. And if we look closely at the walls that he is creating, we can see that you will get electrocuted as soon as you pass them. Which would make a lot of sense since as soon you pass them as a survivor, you will get damage. So I think that design is pretty fitting. There is another stunning doctor skin for the Bloody Queen. It is called the Nurse of Thorns. Sadly, we didn't get a background story about the skin, but it looked absolutely beautiful, so I wanted to include it into this video as well. Alright, those were my favorite designs that I just had to share with you, and I would love to see some of these designs in the game in the future. What are your thoughts on this? Leave me comments in the comment section below about your favorite designs and if you would love to see them in the game. And of course, if you enjoyed this video, make sure to leave me a fat like. And if you're new to the channel and you want to stay up to date all around Identity 5, make sure to subscribe to the Gaming-Grizzly. I hope you all have a fantastic day and I will see you in the next video. Bye bye!